We're ready for Game 3 in the Middle School All-Star Games. Mike Peden and Brandon Bell with you. Brandon filling in. A couple of our other announcers got sick today. Or maybe they just got sick of me.
Nah, it's a first for me, so actually enjoying it. Gonna take it for what it is. Have a little fun in here tonight with you, man. On this good evening we got here on a Sunday. We're gonna enjoy some good basketball. Watch these kids get after it.
So we have the pink and the white team. Now, we don't have names and numbers on these shirts, but I'd like to think in future years maybe they will put them on.
For sure.
You know what? They'll see this broadcast and they'll see how silly I look without them. All right, we'll do numbers next year, but this is all about fun anyway, so we can still give you a few things as the pink team goes into the 3. And with all these 12 and 13-year-olds being a little taller, a little bigger, you're going to see a lot of three-pointers, I think.
Keion is actually really, really good, man. Keion can actually play. He's probably going to be one of them star-studded kids that we see in the future.
So who was the guy?
Keion.
Keion.
On the pink team. There he goes again.
I don't see a Keion. I don't see a Keion on the roster. Oh, there we are, Keion Bellefield. You see, this is why we have people like Brandon. Otherwise, I would have looked like a complete dork. 3-0 to score.
This is actually Peden Clark, the son of Terrell Clark that played at Burnsville a while back. Probably taller than his dad at this age.
And the other guys on the pink team, Kyrie Hart, Cassius Jubera, P.J. Walker, Suyai Peters, Kenneth Armstrong. As the white team gets on the board, Adriana Clinton, Jacob Wyatt, Isaiah Grayson, Landon Williams, Newkirk. The white team, Devin Raby, Parker Stark, Julia Sampe, Duval Chappelle Jr., Sola Kashida, Soli Olsen, Zachary Shearer, Mizay Woods, Ame Idol, Devon Suggs Jr., and Louis Clay.
Yes, indeed.
I hope I said your names right, but I do want to get them all. These are the young men you'll be seeing. Some actually played in our last game, Brandon, and I guess you're ready to go. Well, it's only a 30-minute running time game, so you've got plenty of fresh legs.
Keion shooting that thing from deep. Got to step in some, a little youngin.
Keion Bellefield, he's looking over at the stands like, hey, I'm trying. I mean, I wouldn't argue against his range. 3-2 the score.
Indeed. Nice move.
I do think this game's going to be a little closer than the 50-plus 10 runaway as the pink team got the O board. That's Bellefield. He gets doubled. White team is like, we're not going to mess around with them anymore.
Yeah. That's a
so
nice
you
take.
just go around the fence and score the layup. Now, Brandon, you came on during the three-point shootout of our last game, but what was your background? Because you told me you were a freshman, I don't want to say student manager, but you were an assistant on varsity for football. What was your background in sports as a player? Because I remember you as a coach at Minnesota West, I think.
Riverland and Central Lakes.
Riverland. I knew it was a blue team.
Yeah, Riverland and Central Lakes. I actually coached before coming back to helping out at St. Paul Johnson. Background, I played freshman in JV over at Hardin, and then ended up playing varsity over at Johnson my junior and my senior year. That is a beautiful take by Sully. Sully is a nice kid. He plays at Murray right now. Really, really good kid. Got some potential. But just going back to played varsity basketball at Johnson. Played JV and freshman at off the glass. Oh.
Kenny, go dump a donut. That's terrible.
But yeah, just played freshman in JV at Hardin, and then ended up transferring over and playing varsity at Johnson my junior and my senior year. We had an opportunity to go to state my junior year, and we ended up losing in the section finals my senior year when they had realigned us and dropped us down to 3A and put all of the St. Paul Conference teams in the same section. Got a chance to go play some college basketball over my last few years at junior college, and then finished out at Warner Pacific in Portland, Oregon. NAIA ball is really, really good, and got an opportunity to get my degree in sports and rec management, and now giving back to these kids, doing a lot of player development and training with a lot of the youth in the city.
9-2 the score. Remember, this is 30 minutes running time because this is meant to give everyone a chance to play in these condensed games.
Everybody's going to get played. I think both teams have about 6 or 7 kids, so you're going to see quite often a lot of these kids subbing in.
I think so, and some
looking for White to make some moves right now. They're down 9-2, so looking for somebody to get active.
Yeah, and the young man who tried to dunk was Kenny Armstrong. Here comes a steal by the pink team, and they'll lay it in for 2. But Brian is running PA and gave Kenny a hard time about that dunk attempt.
But it's actually impressive to see. You see a 6th or 7th grader going up there to gotta go dunk it. You know, that means he has high hopes and high potential of what he really wants to do when he gets older.
Well, and you see this a lot in the men's side of it, Brandon. These youngsters have big verticals. I
100%.
got to cover some Hill Murray boys games and got to cover the NJCAA men's tournament
100%.
this year, which was won by Minnesota State Fergus Falls.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids. What we like to say, if you put a dollar on the top of the backboard, a lot of them gonna go up there and put change up there after they take that dollar off of there. These kids can actually get up. You see it at an early age with these kids, but it's definitely been some high flying activity on the high school level as well as the JUCO level with guys that's been extremely athletic.
Reach in foul. 11-2, pink over white. We're using the shirt colors for team names. And the first time we've covered this event, I think it's been around for a while. 3 from the corner. Doesn't go down.
Kenny pushing it.
Armstrong to Bellefield. You'll take a layup any day.
So pink team is pulling away up 13-2 right now with 23 left to play.
Keion and Kenny running the show. Ball stripped. Look who's leading the fast break. Bellefield recovers and lays it in.
Yep.
I wonder where he's going to end up playing varsity ball.
Hopefully we keep him in St. Paul.
Armstrong with the block. Well, he's got the vertical. If he's not getting dunks now, he will be soon.
For sure.
Well, I see you've got Brian there, Colin. There's a few St. Paul guys who will make a play, I think, to get some of these kids at Johnson. Or maybe you're secretly trying to take advantage because Harding is focused on the state tournament. That's going to be a travel on Bellefield.
No,
hey, here's a way to get at some kids while our other guy, Elijah, has to.
We just love the kids who actually just want to stay to the city. No matter if they play at Harding, they play at Highland, play at Humboldt. Just wanting to see good talent that stay in the city and not looking to run out anywhere.
I don't think I covered you at Johnson, but I do remember when Central and Johnson were the top teams in the conference and both ranked.
Both years I played at Harding. I mean at Johnson, it was the same situation.
Or the Johnson Central game was the big one.
We ended up winning Twin Cities my junior year, and then my senior year we ended up splitting with Central, and they ended up going to play in the Twin Cities game.
Right, because whoever has the longest absence goes to the game if there's a tie.
Yeah.
Armstrong almost got it. 15-2 with 21 and a half minutes to go. I didn't start broadcasting until a little later. When Johnson had that 32-0 team
100%.
that won state, including a win over Hopkins, one of those years where you would have loved to have seen
just to be there.
A four-class showdown to see who the top team in the state was. We had that a few years ago when Hopkins, De La Salle, and Minnehaha won. That's going to be a foul, and we'll shoot 1 for 2 points. That was 2019. I'll never forget that. Because De La Salle beat Hopkins, Hopkins beat Minnehaha, Minnehaha beat De La Salle, and all 3 won their state titles in their respective classes, and you wondered as a fan if those 3 got a chance to play each other like they used to with the Sweet 16 format when they had a single champion, what might have been.
It would actually be intense to see it if it was ever that way again. I think it's some good opportunities for a lot of other teams to get an opportunity, but it's some good teams out here, and those so to speak Cinderella stories start to happen each year. Looking forward to it every year when you see it.
And I think it makes sense to have the 4 classes because I've seen Class A, they don't have the size, the depth that 3A, 4A schools do. So I'm fine with the format.
100%.
It's just when you get champions that are on the same level with each other, you wonder, oh, that would be a lot of fun.
100%. See a lot of these 2A schools who can be able to compete, have the size and athleticism as the 3 and the 4A schools as well. So, but as a totality of it, 3 and 4A, it's kind of, it's really, really tough to compete at that level if you don't have the size and the quickness.
Right.
And, the scoring power that a lot of these schools have.
And Minnehaha was a pretty rare example because when you have Jalen Suggs and Chet Holmgren,
100%.
everybody wanted to play. That helps.
Yeah, and I wasn't here around that time, but just to watch those games live stream, and just see the standing room only type of crowd, it was like watching the Jackson 5. Everywhere they went.
Wow, you going way back.
Everywhere they went,
I'm like,
it was a packed
I think
crowd.
aren't you and I a little young for Jackson
For sure.
5?
But you grew up with it when you got your parents who listen to it all day on Sundays when they're cleaning up the house.
Okay, we've got free throws coming up for the pink team. They lead 15-2 over the white team. And to your point, well, the girls crowned their state champions last night. Providence Academy, the top team in the state. Their wins came against all of the heavy hitters in 4A.
Yeah, Maddie
Greenway
is a stud. I was there in attendance last night to actually, see it up close and personal. And
I've called my share of Madden games.
Yeah, she has probably one of the quickest first steps I've seen in a very, very long time, and just her motor is different. Like, just to be able to guard 94 feet for 30.
That's right. At Williams Arena, the college court is 10 feet longer.
100%.
And another bucket. That's not Bellefield. It looked like him for a second.
She's a Kentucky commit, right?
Madden Greenway, yes.
So
Wildcat.
Kentucky's getting a stud.
Going to Lexington.
She has a motor like no other. And
going to Lexington. And coincidentally, I covered in my tournament the NCCAA women's tournament, downtown Louisville, Simmons College.
That's a big 3 right there.
Championship. That is a big 3. 20-2 is the score, and we've been getting a lot of these one-sided games. Now, some players on the white team were in the last game, but kind of like in our last game, Brandon, now the white team, some of those crossovers are playing against some bigger, faster competition with the pink squad.
That's Devon Suggs Jr.
So Devon is on the pink team. So Devon's with the pink team. I think they had him on the other team, but the Suggs name has just been a fountain of athletes from
100%.
Larry to Jalen, Reyna, Bernard Suggs, yep.
Devon Suggs.
I think
they have a big lineage of Suggs that have ran through.
I think one of them's in the NFL or played in the NFL.
Yep,
Terrell, that's right. He was with the Ravens.
Yep, Ravens, played for the Chiefs a little bit. That's a great pass.
It's like the Hill family. They just keep coming.
Yeah.
They keep having more kids. They keep producing. I don't know. Maybe it's something in those reproductive genes. They just keep on coming.
Good drop step. Nice pass. Can he hit it? Short.
Short. 22-2. White team, 1 bucket, and that's it. Much like our last game.
Great find.
Pink team on the run. Well, and speaking of Hills, Malachi will be playing in another state tournament for Totino Grace.
Yep.
I never thought I'd see that happen where the Hills, they all went to South. Well, PJ went to North, and now I'm seeing Malachi at a private school.
100%.
Just one of those, you can't make this up. I remember covering Taylor at South, and then Morgan and Jade. Angel moved to Minnehaha after her big sisters finished up at South. But
those were the days where you see a Taylor Hill show where when she came into your gym. It was a nice.
I wish South had a bigger gym in those days because
100%.
you needed it, especially for the Central games.
Yeah.
Other games you had enough, but it was a lot of fun. Pink team up 24-2.
The year Central girls ended up winning the state. ended up winning the state that year against South. And that
Twice.
Game, twice.
07 and 08.
Yes. The 07 year when they had Angel Robinson and Ebony
Black, who both came over from Johnson. And the pink squad, I see what they're doing. They're getting a little fancy.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, did I travel? he's like, did I travel there? He might have taken an extra step, but this is an all-star game. We'll let it slide. 28-2. That was still a great under the legs reverse. Whoop. All right, pink team backing off. Good recognition.
Nice skip.
There's no shot clock, not that you need one in these all-star games. Brian Sandifer urging someone to shoot the ball. Well, they do, but it doesn't quite work out. These kids can move, though. I guess I'm not surprised seeing all of the young talent that comes in 6th and 7th grade. And
these kids are really, really skilled at this age group.
Well, one of them trying to show off his handles. Hasn't quite worked out yet, but points for trying. And you know what? I'm sure he'll keep practicing and find ways to get better.
100%. The creativity of a lot of these kids and just...
Well, one tip, I asked Angel Robinson about this when I did my Miss Basketball excursion last year. You may remember this. She dribbled in the dark when she was at home. She would run some dribbling drills and turn off all the lights. That was a good move, and that will be a free throw for the white team. Trying to work their way back. They trail 28-2. I don't know if they'll get the win, but kind of like our last game, you want to see them get some more buckets. I don't know who that is. Next year.
Peden Clark.
Okay, that's Clark. All right. Next year, we'll get names or numbers or something, so I'll be able to say who they are. But Peden Clark does get the free throw, and again, that's worth 2. So the white team ends the scoring drought. Oh, my. Armstrong, dribble drive, no. And the smallest kid on the floor,
Marcus.
That's Marcus. He doesn't look like he's at 5 feet yet. That's your son. So maybe he's got a growth spurt coming? He's hoping. So that's Marcus, you said? Parker. With the background noise, I have a hard time hearing. That's Parker Stark. Well, the Stark name is a well-known one thanks to the MCU.
Yes, indeed.
So don't mess with the Stark. He gets the free throw to fall. Hey, you know what? Some folks hit their growth spurt a little later.
For sure.
And there are some.
I was one of those kids.
You're one of those kids.
I was very, very
And some
small.
people who aren't tall in the basketball court could still make an impact. You might remember Terry Cornier from Johnson. That kid could dunk. Well, he's not a kid anymore. As the pink team gets the bank off the glass. You got to go way back, but I remember Muggsy Bogues. Stark setting up his teammate. 30-8. White team getting some points now. Well. And there's Bellefield. Armstrong there to trail. Kenny and Keion, they've been the leaders for the pink team. They had Clark with them, but again, with the smaller roster, we do kind of mix it up. Steal, outlet, look who's got it. Oh, the alley-oop layup. Hey, that's still good for 2. I say this a lot. If you don't dunk it, but put it in, it's like, what's important is that you put down the bucket.
T. Clark with the ball, drive, stay on your
feet. The blow by.
2 points.
Hey, good move by Clark. I'm sure you pulled that off more than once. Let the defender go by. You got a wide open bucket. And then Clark comes up with a block. This is 6th and 7th grade. There might be some crossover, and the pink 3-on-0. If that hadn't gone down, he would never hear the end of it. 3-on-0. You better make that.
Better make that layup for sure.
Is there any more? Do you get more pressure? I don't know how often you had those, but is there more pressure?
On him.
Well, he finds his teammate and drains it. Stark with a couple of assists. I was going to say, though, do you get more nervous when you have a 3-on-0, like 2-on-0, you have the bucket all to yourself, and you think, oh, I better make this, right?
Yeah, especially if you pass it up and you don't pass it to your teammates, you got a 3-on-0 situation. That's the most nerve-wracking thing, I guess. If you don't
because
pass it,
there's no defender.
If you miss it and you got people in front of you, you don't pass the ball. I think that's the worst. That's the worst fear about it.
Deep three is short. And if you don't make it, everyone knows.
Yes.
You can't blame it on a defender. It's all on you. Bellefield under the legs. Not quite.
Devon Suggs Jr. with the rebound.
Devon Suggs out to Armstrong through the lane. Ooh, left it soft. Uh-oh. That's Suggs who tracks it down. And he's wearing the long pants. I give extra credit to those who do this with the long pants. I would think that would be more restrictive compared to the shorts.
For sure.
But maybe not. Pull up.
Rebound by Clark.
Clark
For 2.
shrugs it off. 9:30 to go, 34-14. White team starting to put some things together. Big Seal, was that what Brian said?
Sizzle.
There's a 3.
Sizzle.
Big, Sizzle. That's the AAU group he runs.
Yes, indeed.
34-14. White team, do they have enough time for a comeback? The hesitation and the finish. Well, here they come. And that young man, he had a big game in the last battle, the 4th and 5th graders. But you've got to deal with Bellefield, who's pulling up for 3 off the rim. Clark with the rebound. Brandon, this could get interesting.
You could definitely get in it.
The white team, Armstrong with the poke. Says, all right, I'll go to the line. So Kenny Armstrong, I don't know where he'll play, but I think he would be a fantastic addition to whichever high school he enrolls in.
100%. Kid is very, very athletic right now. Looking to see him do a little bit more as far as being able to shoot the basketball. Gets downhill really, really well. Probably can try to use that, work on that left hand a little bit. It's everything going strong right. So got some things that he can work on. But right now, as a 6th grade, 7th grade kid, can't ask for anything more.
Well, I'm curious what the three-point shootout will be like. Well, of course, we'll have that at the end of the game. And it's a team shootout, so everyone gets a chance to play. And what I like about it, Brandon, I was telling Tim and my other broadcasters, I'd like to see that at more all-star games. I think it would add a little more to it as Bellefield goes on the spin cycle and rinses it down. But a team shootout, as we're seeing, if you have a bad if you have a bad 30 seconds or so, if your shot doesn't go down, you're not out of it. Your teammates can help pull you out. Speaking of threes, 38-19. And this is what you like to see, even if
kids getting after the
even if the game, it turns into a convincing win. You like to see the white team. They picked up some momentum here in the second half of this. Remember, it's 1 30-minute period. And just a glimpse of the future. That was a perfect pinpoint triple for the guy in the black pants. Parents, if you watch this, maybe introduce me to these kids so that when I come here next year, as Clark lines up the 3 and is short, I'll have a better idea who's who. Because I want to give all of these young, growing men their due. Armstrong. Into the lane he goes. And flips it in. Approaching 6:16 left. 43-19. Got to look out. Ooh, that was close. To a backcourt call. I say this, Brandon, you might have heard me. If you get ahead of the defense, you got to look out behind you because that's where they're going to be.
Especially in a game like this. Kids don't always get back on defense. They cherry pick a little bit and try to come steal it from behind. So you got to be paying attention. You got to be focused on the people that's around you, your surroundings. For 3, Corey Luckett.
Looks like the big team will get the win as Suggs Jr. barrels down again. Did Devon play at Woodbury?
Devon played at St. Paul Johnson. Played football at Johnson and Highland. Started off at Highland and transferred over to
because I do remember there were a couple of Suggs at Woodbury years ago.
He was actually on that team with Freddie's senior year when they was actually dominant. Ended up losing to Stillwater in the section final game in 2006, if I'm correct.
15-footer doesn't go down as we approach 5 minutes.
Luckett for three.
He had a big game in the 4th and 5th grade battle, and we've seen this sometimes in Crystal Flint's triple threat event, which you may have heard about.
Yeah.
Some of the athletes classed up. That's actually how I got to meet
Tough
the Watkins twins, who I think could be centerpieces for Minnehaha Academy next year.
Yeah.
They're going to need a new identity with Addie Mack graduating. (45-22). Pink team all over the white team.
For three.
But they do get a three. Brandon, how crazy is it? You got to see the 2A game, but this year we have the 2, 3, and 4 scores on the all-time girls basketball scoring list. And next year, Matta Greenway and Tori Orline will likely get first and second. It's a matter of who ends up on top, but you got to see a lot of history last night.
100%. It's actually definitely crazy to see that these players are actually skilled enough to play at an early age to get that opportunity and that experience to be able to play varsity for that long is actually impressive to see. And it's all credit to what we're seeing right now. These young kids are really, really advanced at their age now these days. They take the craft really serious. Just the imagination of a lot of these kids to get into a situation where Maddie Greenway has the potential to win multiple state titles and be an all-time leading scorer in Minnesota State history.
And I like the format that both Brian has for the Middle School All-Star Series, and Crystal does this with her triple threat. She doesn't call it an all-star game, but there were a couple of years where it could have counted as one. Either way, it's an exhibition as Suggs bakes in the Steph Curry NBA
the bank
parking lot three. 48-22.
His dad could not shoot like that. I can tell you that right now. Suggs.
I don't think most of us could shoot like that at that age.
Good block.
But the Steph Currys, the Caitlin Clarks of the world, Sarah Scalia from Stillwater.
You couldn't shoot like that. Giving Devon Suggs some slack.
Oh, he's like, nope, you're right. I couldn't. Well, Devon, neither could I. Neither could I. My range is a little shorter.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Creating these showcase events for the younger players. Crystal did that for the triple threat because when you and I grew up with the Intercity All-Star Classic, the All-Star Series, it was a senior send-off.
100%.
And understandably, deservedly so. It's great to see.
Middle school had the 8th grade send-off as well, where they had when the middle school league was actually pretty tough and dominant. They used to be at Arlington High School,
which is now Washington.
It's now Washington.
I remember Arlington. You and I are old. Well,
yeah.
Okay, we're not that old, but it feels like it now.
Yeah, now you see that
watching these kids.
That Arlington is no longer a school anymore, but open court steal.
Washington moved in as the pink team gets another steal and the roll. And we'll get a couple more subs in. But a lot of these events, the Intercity All-Star Classic tried 8th grade game once, but to do that, Crystal does that as well for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. It gives all the younger players a chance to play, and Crystal builds her event as you saw it here first. I guess you could say the same about this Middle School All-Star Series because we're getting a glimpse at some top athletes before they become notable names in high school and perhaps beyond.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're just continuing. I'm just enjoying the fact that we have people that are continuing to create that exposure for this younger generation and actually giving them a platform and an opportunity to be seen. It wasn't many back then, but now to have multiple opportunities for kids to be seen by multiple different people is great to see.
We were talking about old school. This song takes me back. This was 1988. Bellefield with a back-to-back-like performance for the pink team. 54-22. I didn't think they had those classics in there. You hear a lot of modern tunes, and you get some classics too, but...
Yeah, they're always about the vibes here at a Sizzle event. So it's one thing about it. It's always about the vibes and good hoops, good food.
Clark
with 3.
Good 3. And that'll likely end it. Nope, Suggs is going to come up short, but that's okay. Everything is made up and the points don't matter, but the pink team wins.
He's actually a star-studded running back. He's going to be playing up in the 8th grade.
54-25.
Suggs is going to be actually playing up in the 8th grade to play football. Kid is actually taking some of his dad's genes on the football field. He's actually a stud. So
why does that not surprise me with all of the Suggs that played football? So we'll have a 3-point shootout, and as I was saying, Brandon, I would like to see more all-star games use this format because, again, if you have a rough showing, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're not. You're not out of it. Your team can pick you up. We had a comeback in our first game, and we might see, well, who knows what we'll see.
Yep.
This is what I love about it, though. I'd like to see more of a team shootout
100%.
than a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then, I still think you could do a one-on-one, like your top shooter, do something like that.
I would actually like to see like a king. I would actually like to see like a king of the court, one-on-one amongst the kids, and just see who's the best offensive player, who wants to get stops, I would like to see the competition just rise a little bit more. This is actually a good format, but these kids can't dunk yet. Let's throw a one-on-one game in there as well to see who actually has the bragging rights of who was the best player in the gym that day.
8th graders will follow. This is our first round, first leg. Remember, this is a team shootout. And after the first leg, 3-2 the score. Pink with the slight edge. Armstrong was first, and Bellefield will follow. And our young man for the white team, he is unknown to me as far as a name, but he put on a show in the last game. Look at Bellefield go. 30 seconds, not a lot of time. All right, we're tied up, but not for long.
He actually has a nice jump shot. Just luck it.
5-4.
5 up.
5-5. 6-5. These two are matching bucket for bucket. Bellefield knocks down another one and hits one to beat the buzzer. That gives the pink team an 8-5 lead over the white team. But again, this is a team shootout, so pink hasn't won it yet. But Bellefield giving pink a few buckets. Now our next leg. It is interesting to see all the trends. In our last game, we saw some folks set up along the wing. Brian counting down. 8-7. Pink team up by 1. Trying to keep their edge. And the other players serving as rebounders. White team ties it up. They can get the lead back. The pink team does. 9-8.
9-8.
Are we going to have another shootout we did in our first game?
It looked like it. Both teams got some good shooters, only one bucket away.
That was fun. We had a 1-minute shootout to decide the 3-point shootout. That has to be a first. And now this is a staple at some of the other All-Star games as well, as the pink team trying to pull ahead. White team running into a rut on this round, looking to get one more. Well, the pink team only gets one, so 10-8. Still anyone's game. Here comes Parker.
Parker might run him off. Let's see.
Let's see. Well, he got one. Now it's a 1-point margin. Pink still looking to get on the board in this round. And they do. Parker looking for the answer. 11-9, Parker. Got that first one to go. Pink getting a couple here. And it looks like Pink will pad their lead just a little bit, but
Just a little bit.
Parker Stark, we might be hearing more about him down the road. Now Peden Clark, he can shoot. He might get the white team back in it, but the pink team pulling away as we are in the mid-stage of this one. Back and forth they go. Back and forth. 14-9. The pink team getting ahead. White team having a little bit of trouble finding their mark from three-point range. So we'll see. Two more take the spot. Here's Suggs Jr. Well, we know he can shoot. Add that deep one. Gets the roll. He's got two already. And that gives Pink a little more of a cushion. Still with two. How far can he go? Banks in another one.
This Isaiah kid can really shoot the ball as well.
Well, Suggs will get three, I think. And who was the other one?
Isaiah.
Isaiah Grayson. Why did you tell me that at the start? I think Grayson got a few plays in there. 17-11. And, Suggs is shooting again. Suggs is shooting again. 17-12. As the countdown is on here at the High School for Recording Arts. White team trying to draw down the distance, but Pink hitting a bunch. Oh, White now making a surge. They hit three in a row.
Now it's 18-16.
We might have a photo finish unless we got through everybody.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
So Armstrong will go back out there. Armstrong and Bellefield to close this one out. We got some rebounders.
This lucky kid can actually shoot the ball a little bit.
White gets it down to one. Now it's on. Armstrong with a little more pressure. 19-17.
Allen Langford Jr. just came up and gave me some depth.
19-20. White team in front. Armstrong won't get one more. Granted, it all comes down to this. Oh, we're going to have 1 minute. We'll get this sorted out. There we go. All right, they'll get an extra minute for this final leg. And this might favor
Luckett,
the shooter for the white team.
I got Luckett. Luckett is a knockdown shooter. Corey Luckett Jr.
Corey Luckett, who played in our last game, I think.
Definitely, he's a sixth grader.
Luckett. I'm looking for him. 24-20, he's in the zone. That extra minute, I think the pink team might protest. Luckett.
He's running them off.
He's turning this into his own playground. It was 19-20.
Keep going, keep it going.
He's got six.
Got six.
Armstrong hasn't been able to match him. He gets one to drop.
7.
But 7 for Luckett.
8. If we can get 9.
3-pointers.
9. Ah.
Luckett 9.
8.
8 though to make it 28-22 with one more to go. The white team taking over. Can they bring it home? Pink won the 30-minute round. Now it comes down to this. Bellefield's going to need to hit a ton of threes to give the pink team a chance. But the white team still knocking them down. 29-22. This is a lot easier to follow when you've got the team shootout. 31. How about this for a closeout, Brandon? Luckett, and I don't know who that young man is, but those two
Has a nice shot. He's a lefty.
giving some timely
Looks good
threes.
coming
Right,
off
the
his-
southpaw. We don't see too many of those.
It looked good coming off his hand.
Oh, Bellefield, they had to chase that ball. That will eat up some time. Looks like the white team, they're going to do
Run
it.
away with it.
They are going to do it. They hit a total of
Yep.
16. And, nope, they're going to
Step
get one
back,
more.
he said, for
14,
game.
15. A total of 15 three-pointers in the final two legs. And the white team wins the shootout 35-28. That was a lot of fun, Brandon. Ready for another one?
Yes, indeedy. This eighth grade group is probably gonna be interesting to see.
I think that's going to be the best of the bunch, but we've had some great games beforehand.
100%.
What's it?
We're gonna have a lot of kids at this 8th grade level that's actually played some high school basketball in Minnesota this year. So it's gonna
And
be
it
actually
looks
fun
like
to see.
we're going to get Bellefield and Armstrong back out there.
100%.
Because it's a 7th and 8th grade game.
Yep.
So if you liked what they did before, we've got an encore. We'll take another break and come back with our final game here at the Middle School All-Star Series.